10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Football Revolution. I'm your host, Gio. Thanks for joining us. Konnichiwa to everyone. Hello in honour of Japan's second big upset. This time it was the might of Spain. And joining me is our equivalent to Mbappe, my co-host. Good evening, Killingham VIG.
Wow.
You like the intro?
What an intro.
Mate,
wow.
It came from, I was listening back to the show last week and I thought you were saying Killingham Mbappe, not Killian, which not only made me crack up, but I realised that's your new World Cup name as per the intro, Killingham VIG.
I'll take it. Anytime you can compare yourself to Kylian Mbappe, I'll take it.
Mate, you're the star.
What a player.
Mate, you're our star and you get the job done. So it's not a hard comparison. But the World Cup is starting to heat up and the upsets continued in the final group games. But as the business gets serious, the big guns are starting to flex their muscles in the round of 16.
Yeah, and how good were the final group games? That match day 3 of the group stage, absolutely incredible. Teams in, teams out, teams needing to score one more goal to knock another team out. It was just phenomenal, and that's what the World Cup's all about.
It was minute by minute, wasn't it? 1 minute, one team's going through, and they're coming. Someone's coming last in the group. Next minute, they're coming first, and
literally, for a couple of minutes there, Spain and Germany are both going out. Right, Costa Rica, who got pumped 7-1 by Spain in the first game, 7-0, whatever it was. They're going through with Japan, and Spain and Germany, two powers, is going home. For a minute there, Tunisia is going through instead of the Socceroos, and then Matt Lakey steps up. So just phenomenal. It's crazy to watch. You're trying to watch two games at once. You got one game on the TV, one game on the laptop or on the phone. You got text messages flying in from your mates, and this happened, that's happened. Quick, did you see that? Did you miss this? Just phenomenal. It's such great excitement, and made for some great mornings.
How can you not love the world game? And I suppose there's rumours going around they were looking at trying to put a World Cup on every 2 years instead of 4. I don't know if we can handle it. It's too much, isn't it? I love football, but you get no sleep, you don't eat properly, everything just
my
goes
heart can't handle that. I don't think so. But no, look, there's a Euro every second year and an Asian Cup, so there's plenty of football. Keep the World Cup every 4 years, makes it special, and we'll talk about what they're going to do with it with the 48 teams a bit later on, I think.
Mate, surely my Italians are behind this because we haven't made a World Cup now for 2 World Cups, 8 years. So we're trying to push it forward to make it every 2 years to give us more chance.
Every 2 years, they want 64 teams in the World Cup. Yeah.
Look, the way Italy are going with World Cups, we need 128 teams and we need it every year, but we can talk about that another time. But our Socceroos showed amazing fighting spirit against all odds, brushing aside the more fancy Denmark to set up a mouthwatering clash with Messi and Argentina. Unfortunately, we know how that all panned out, and as brave as we fought, we unfortunately fell just short. No shame in losing to a powerhouse like that. Garang Kwal came close to equalising, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, we can be extremely proud of what they achieved. Before the tournament started, everyone had written them off. There wasn't that much support around them, but to see the nation rally and get behind them, and it's amazing what a couple of wins can do to change the mood of the country and people's perception about a team. So, look, phenomenal effort. You can't fault their desire, their will to win. We gutsed it out against Tunisia in that second half. We had our backs to the wall. We were struggling. The fight we showed, Sudar's tackle, players putting their body on the line, Matty Ryan in goals in that Tunisia game. Incredible fight. And sometimes in a World Cup, in a knockout tournament like this, that's what you have to do to win football matches, right? It's not always pretty. What we need to do now is we need to capitalize on this. We need to build on this momentum going into the Women's World Cup next year. And also, for the next cycle, for the 2026 World Cup, qualification is going to be a little bit different because obviously more teams qualify, but this is our chance to build on it. We need to create an identity for Australian football now. We need to have a philosophy of play because I still, when I watch the Socceroos, I still don't know what I'm going to get. I know I'm going to get the hunger, the desire. Graham Arnold talks about the Aussie DNA, the never say die attitude, never give up. we're going to get that, right?
Yep.
That's Australian. That's inbuilt in all of us. So
we tried to be Dutch for a while. But the problem is you can only be Dutch if you're Dutch.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't
no one
bring
else
a
can
Dutch
be
coach.
Dutch.
You can bring in a Dutch kit. You can bring in Dutch boots. You can bring in Dutch whatever you like. But you can even give Dutch nicknames. But unless you're Dutch, you can't play Dutch. You can't be Spanish if you're not Spanish.
So the one thing we do have though is we've got that desire, we've got that hunger, we've got that fight. But our boys can play football as well, right? So let's play football. I want to see them play football. I want to see them, passing out from the back. I want to see them pressing high. I want to see us dominating possession, right, and holding onto the ball, which we don't always see. And there's a fine line because I know international football it's results based, right? If you win, everyone's happy. You saw we won 2 games. Everyone's over the moon. We're jumping out of our seats. Socceroos are great. All this emotion that that surrounds these matches, but. I still want to see that identity. I want to see us take it to the next level. I want to see us like Japan. We know how Japan's going to play every time they come out, right? They're technical. They're on the ball. They like to pass it around. They're patient. They build up play from the back. They also press high. Like they do. When you watch Japan, you know what you're going to get. When you watch the Socceroos, I still don't know what I'm going to get sometimes.
Is this a philosophy we need to implement at Football Australia level and say, okay, from under whatever it is, 15s, 17s, 23s, the men's team, the Socceroos, this is how we play? Do you bring in a coach that just tries to bring in a philosophy into the first team and then maybe it filters down, maybe it doesn't? What's the theory behind it?
The basis, yes, but at the end of the day, you also need the players, right? So if the under 15 level doesn't have the players to play like that, then the coach has to be agile and they have to adjust. I think that was maybe Ange's downfall when he coached. He had this set way of playing. He was so determined that you're going to play this way. We're always going to do this. But that's not always the case, right? Because I think you need a mixture of both. You need a mixture of philosophy and identity and a style of play. But you also need sometimes to roll the sleeves up and get stuck in and grind a result out.
Yeah, true. Mate, the entire nation was extremely proud of how we performed and the turnout at live sites had to be seen to be believed. Let's use this to kickstart the game here in a huge way. As you're saying, we just need to make sure that the momentum here, the snowball effect, it gains momentum, but it doesn't stop here once this World Cup finishes in, 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. It's our journey's finished, the Socceroos' journey, but there's still plenty of games to be played, but we need to make sure that continues. Yeah,
100%. I think the biggest winners from this was boating, camping, fishing. Sold out of flares across the country. But no, okay. Look, it was great. It was great to see. Like you said, we've got to capitalise on this. We need to turn those fans who are going to watch the Socceroos and so passionate about watching the Socceroos, they need to be rocking up every week to watch A-League games.
Okay, Graham Arnold, job well done. But look, just a bit of advice. I'm no expert, but I do know how to treat people. Stay humble and be modest. For you to come out and say, hey, I proved a lot of people wrong. I know he's had a lot of pressure. I know guys have been on his case the whole time and he's probably had enough of it. But the truth of the matter is go out there and say we overachieved, we proved you wrong. Don't start picking the 2006 golden generation and saying they only won, 4 points, we won 6. They had Brazil, who are the best team in the world. They had Japan, who's probably the best team in Asia at the moment. And they also had Croatia, who were the 2018 runners-up in the World Cup. So very tough group. What we've achieved here is fantastic, well above what we probably all expected, in all honesty. But the thing is, don't go start picking fights with people like that because they're Australians too. It was an Australian team, and all you're going to do is put people offside who were probably on your side or sitting on the fence, and now you're going to go and start targeting that. You can't compare the quality of the players they had there, Harry Kill, Viduka and that. You can kid yourself and say that's the facts, that we got more points. Yeah, but it doesn't always come down to that. So look, you did a fantastic job getting us to the knockout phase, taking a powerhouse like Argentina all the way, but just do it with a little bit of grace and a little bit of modesty and don't get too carried away from yourself. And if people are giving you advice that you should give it to the media and give it to the Australian people who have doubted you, don't take that advice, mate. My advice to you is just go out there and take it and say, I did a good job. Let people give you the pundits, let people give you a clap, but don't clap yourself, mate. That's
yeah, look, job well done. Like you said, we have overachieved with the squad that we have and our qualification campaign. It was dark and gloomy for a long time, right? It wasn't looking good. But yes, we got through. The main objective was to make it to the World Cup 1. And then when we got there, anything's possible at a World Cup, right? We've seen throughout this group stage, we've seen teams that have progressed. Morocco topped the group. Tunisia have beaten France. Arabia have beaten Argentina.
Yep.
Japan have won 2 games against, you know, 2 of the powerhouses in Spain and Germany. So, you know, it's been a phenomenal World Cup so far. But like you said, you know, be graceful, be thankful, and let's capitalise on this and really start to move Australian football forward.
Well said. Domestically, we tackle week 3 of our A-League Women's Wrap a little bit later in the show. Another edition of our World Cup Pele Awards. It's pronounced so many different ways. You can call it whatever you like. Just know it's our cracked World Cup Awards. So tomato, or Pele Awards, whatever you want. Let's just get it on. Is there anything I didn't see, VIG?
Oh, I'm going to touch on this later, but
yeah,
the fake Neymar.
All right, I know.
You've missed it. You know what I'm talking about. But
yeah, I know.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. This week in the Player Escape Room, we are joined by Western United's Mr. Fix-It Felix, likeable defender Jacob Tratt. So can't wait to get him on for a chat.
Good bloke.
Yeah, he's a champion guy. A-League women's table update. So Western United are on top of the table with 9 points, 3 from 3 for the new girls. So couldn't ask for a better start for the green and black. Sitting in second is Melbourne City on 6. They've played 1 less game, so they're also still undefeated. Sydney FC on 6 as well. Adelaide on 6, round out the top 4. And Newcastle Jets back a further 2 points on 4, and Brisbane rounding out the top 6 on 4 points as well. My weekly wrap has been replaced by our shout-out, dedicating a weekly song to a team or a player for their good or bad performance. This week's shout-out definitely goes to a fantastic performance. It goes to France's good-looking, all-time leading goal scorer, Olivier Giroud. And right said Fred, I'm too sexy.
I am too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan.
Now, congratulations on going past legendary Thierry Henry's 51 goals. Not bad for a go-kart, as referred to by F1 Karim Benzema.
Look, he's been slagged a lot, hasn't he, Giroud?
He has, but it's taken him 117 games to score 52 goals. And the Ballon d'Or winner, F1, as he's self-proclaimed himself, has scored only 37 in 97. Now, you've got a bit of work to do. If this is cricket, I know you like your cricket, his runs with number of balls left, he's running out of balls here, right? He's going to have to start hitting 4s and 6s. So I think Benzema, as fantastic he is, and I'm not saying for 1 second that Giroud's as good a player as him or whatever. Benzema was the player who won the Ballon d'Or, and it's, you know, you have to be a unbelievable player to win that, as we've seen with Messi and Ronaldo in the past. But, mate, you are starting to look at it worse than a run a ball the way you're looking, so you need to get a move on.
Yeah, and look, Benzema was obviously out of the French team for a long time, and Giroud was that number 9 for them, their go-to striker, you know, in between after Henry and in between Benzema now. So, you know, he's been the beneficiary of having a player like Antoine Griezmann and Kylian Mbappe feeding him service up front. So, hats off to him, phenomenal effort, one of Grenoble's finest.
Mate, I'm too sexy could be I'm too sexy for Benzema. I'm too sexy for, you know, I suppose all
too
the other
sexy
scores.
for anything. This bloke.
Yes, I know you're a massive fan of the way he looks and the catwalks that he walks on. But look, like we said, in all honesty, I'm too sexy is a way of us, you know, jokingly saying to him, but fantastic job, amazing achievement, and look, anyone that can even get close to a player like Henry's goal scoring feats is doing half okay. So congratulations to him. Right said Fred, I'm too sexy is the song that we dedicate to you, Olivier Giroud, France's all-time leading scorer. So moving into our A-League women's wrap. So quick snapshot of how we look at these games. It's the score, the player that was worth the admission, lesson from the game, as well as a game fact. So let's get into the first one. The Newcastle Jets hosting the Perth Glory on the Saturday. The final score was 2-2. The player that was worth the admission alone was Perth's American forward Rayleigh Baisden, with a double to earn her team a point, with a regulation tap in at the back post and also a nice header. She was also unlucky with a clean strike, not having a hat-trick, and the winner in the 80th minute, but the crossbar rescued the Jets. So the lesson from the game, Perth, when the opposition hits you on the counter, just kick the ball over the sideline and regroup, ready for a throw-in. I know it's not pretty, but you would have won 3 points. The Jets' goals came from mistakes from the Glory defenders. They worked so hard for their goals and then gifted the opponents 2 equalisers. So really, really dejecting, I suppose, as a team and as a coach when you've done everything you can and you've worked so hard to create those chances and finish off those opportunities, and then you do absolute comedy of errors at the back. And, you know, I suppose if you're the Socceroos Milos Dejanek, then you'd say no one makes mistakes, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I think
Leave it there.
I think that's being kind to your mate. But any which way, it does look, football does happen and things do happen. But I think sometimes you do. Sometimes maybe good, but sometimes maybe bad.
I've got nothing to say to that, but you're spot on.
Yeah, and game fact is 35 shots in the game, 28% on target. Maybe nice to watch the shooting gallery as a fan, but not enjoyable for coaches. So my suggestion would be Basden's 2 goals and she hit the crossbar with her 4 shots, so lessens anyone. Maybe she can run a couple of coaching clinics during the week. She's had 4 shots and she's bagged 2. One's hit the crossbar, so her strike rate is phenomenal.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think maybe before long the Glory men's team will be giving her a call up. I hope they've got a spare number for a good number. Definitely a starting number.
They've got, I think Bruno's number is still available, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Rolly.
All right, so moving on to the second of the Saturday games. It was Melbourne City back in action after having a week off against Brisbane Roar. What happened in this game?
It was one-way traffic, I think. 3-0 to Melbourne City. The goal scorers were Henry in the 30th, Rojas in the 51st, and Ekic in the 80th. We've spoken about this player before. This is a player worth the price of admission. It's Maria Jose Rojas. We talk
Absolute
about her
joy
every
to
week.
watch.
She's a freak. She's an absolute freak. And another goal. She did miss a penalty, though. But another goal,
which they hit the post from as well. So it looked like it was going to be a
penalty, and then it hit the post, and you're thinking, all right, maybe Brisbane. The Brisbane keeper had a tremendous game. But yeah, no, she was phenomenal. She scored a goal, 3-0 win. You can't ask for much more. But also, this player, she wasn't on the score sheet, but teenage sensation Daniela Galic, she was really impressive for me.
Okay. Yeah, we just need to keep bringing the Rojases and the handcuffs, the goalkeeper from Brisbane Roar. They're not combined, those two names. They're separate. But, look, I think we just need to keep bringing that quality of player in, because some of the players that I've seen early in this A-League women's competition are fantastic. They're really enjoyable, and I think we just have to, like we do say in the men's, let's just keep building and bringing in more and more quality players so that each week we're getting, games that are really entertaining, and we get to see some real star players week in, week out in every game in the A-League.
Yeah, look, my lesson from the game, plain and simple, Melbourne City were just too good, right?
Okay.
We spoke
Is
about
that
it.
team talk for the
well,
ball?
we spoke about it when France played Australia, and people saying that they're just too good, right? 4-1, and they got Mbappe, they got Giroud, they got Griezmann, they got Dembele. They're just too good. This was similar, right? So Melbourne City were just too good. Brisbane, look, if it wasn't for the keeper, Hensley Handcuff, American girl, honestly, it could have been 6 easily.
Yeah, I definitely agree. She pulled off a couple of fantastic saves, and, it's disappointing for her because she did everything she could and she still walks away a 3-0 loser, but she can at least hold her head held high and know that she's did everything she could to try and help her team get some points. It just wasn't good enough.
She does, and this is my game fact, ties into her as well. American goalkeeper. She made a professional debut in round 1. That was her first professional football game.
You're kidding me.
No joke. So
okay.
she's 22. And this is, I did some research. I was reading up on her, and this was a girl at 17 years old. She had to undergo surgery to remove 2 plum-sized tumours from her ovaries after she'd been living with cancer for a year. So to come back from that, it's an incredible story. It's great to see her playing and playing professional football, to come back from that. And she was just phenomenal on the weekend, and she's been great all season in the first 3 games.
Mate, all I can think of when you're saying that is, besides she's a wonderful woman, is got to get her on the player escape room. We'd love to have a chat with her.
If she's out there, we'd love to. We love these stories.
Yeah, she's fantastic, and I think she'd be very inspiring for all young footballers out there, no matter boy, girl, whoever it is. I think a story like that, where you show you never give up, even when you get a bum hand, you don't throw your cards out. You just play the hand you've got, and you come out the other side like she has. With very successful is a story that everyone would love to hear. So, yeah, that's awesome. All right, so moving on to the third of the Saturday games, it was the Sydney Derby, Western Sydney Wanderers versus Sydney FC. The score was 1-0 to Sydney FC. My player of the match was Sarah Hunter. Now, she worked hard for her team at both ends of the pitch. It was a hot day here in Sydney, which was great for us because we're swimming in the pool or going to the beach. But for footballers, it's not
good.
Yeah, not so good. It's not fun times. But after a captain, Tobin, was sent off for Sydney, they had to play with 10 players for more than half a game. And like I said, in the heat, it probably felt like 3 games. But she absolutely ran from one end of the pitch to the other. I think it was at Marconi Stadium, and she's run from one end of every blade of grass out there in Fairfield at Marconi Stadium. So I think she was a big reason why they were able to hold out their derby rivals. But for me, the thing that I think that they need to work on, or a lesson from the game, is the Wanderers against a team with a player down need to go for the knockout and take the game to them. I know sometimes that normally it means that it galvanises your side when you go down to 10, but they've lost their captain, right, a leader at the back, and so for them, I think you just had to go out there and try and knock them out.
You've got to put them under a bit of pressure. Yeah,
you can't sit back. They started off, Sydney lined up with a 4-3-3, an attacking formation. Wanderers had started with a back 4 and then 2 holding defensive midfielders. So straight away you're showing your cards that you're looking to try and stay in the game, but you're not going to give too much away. So for me, I think you had to really go for it. And if you get a goal, their heads go down. But while they stay in the game, and it's 0-0, and then they stay in the game like they have, and they were a bit tired, then they were able to pinch a late winner with a shot from an angle. And unfortunately for the keeper, for the Wanderers, she'd had a great game. I don't know how she got caught out from there, just out of position, or, like I said, maybe just switched off for a few seconds. But I think if you put them to the sword early, it's game over. But the longer the 10 men stay in the game, the more confidence they get. So it gave Ante Juric's team a chance to steal the points. So hats off to them. But, you just needed to go for more earlier on if I was the Wanderers. And the match fact is the Sydney Derby, the Wanderers without a win in 6 matches. And I'll give you a second fact. It was the first red card of the women's season. So not
bonus points for that one.
Yeah, not an award that Tobin would like to get, but what she can probably offset her being the first woman to get a red card in this season is the fact that her team walked away with all 3 points in the Sydney Derby, and it moved them up the table, I think, into third. So not a bad day for the Sydney FC, if not for their captain. But moving on to the first of the 2 Sunday games, it was Melbourne Victory hosting one of the other new teams, the Phoenix. How did this game pan out, VIG?
Yeah, tight affair. It only finished 1-0 to the Victory. Goal in the 50th minute from Ayres. My player to watch, or worth the price of admission, was Alex Chidiac. I thought she was tremendous.
A fantastic player.
I can't believe she's still only 23 years old. She's been in the Matilda setup. She's played at Atletico Madrid, right? Huge club in Spain. And she's also spent time in Japan with Jeff United Chiba. So
I might steal a CV. I'm happy to put just liquid paper her name out and just put mine at the top.
I'm not sure that will work, mate.
I'd love to be at Atletico. I know it's your
Atletico
team.
Madrid, love it. How good. So, she's been around the world. She's come back to Melbourne now. She got an assist from a lovely corner, and she also hit the post from a great run and shot. And how's this for a stat? She had 97% passes completed, 34 out of 35. Phenomenal.
I'm definitely taking her CV.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. That's a great stat, no matter what league you are or what position you play.
Lessons from the game. Wellington need to capitalise on their possession. They only had 3 shots all game, 46% possession, but they just couldn't advance the ball forward and get into get the ball into threatening areas. So,
mate, it's a story of 2 tales, right? You got 2 new teams without going too far off track here. You got the Wellington Phoenix, 3 games, 3 losses, no points to show for it, and then you've got Western United who have come in this year as well, 3 from 3. And so, yeah, look, it's and you both come in the same opportunities and stuff, but unfortunately, one team's swimming at the top of the ocean, the other one's drowning at the bottom. So it's not hard. I don't know how do these guys turn this around. Like it doesn't give you any confidence, right? Yeah, you can't go off.
They've got a very young squad. That's the only advantage Wellington have. So you
can't go off previous experiences because this is the only 3 games, and the only 3 games you've had, you've been touched up.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's roll on. The game fact for me, look, Victory get their first win of the season after losing to newcomers Western United 1-0 and 2-0 to Sydney FC in the Big Blue. So they're off and running, but traditionally they find themselves at the top of the table somewhere. So good to get off the board. Look,
it's definitely 3 points they definitely needed, but for the champions though, it wasn't convincing, was it?
No, not at all.
So they got a lot of work to do to get back to where they were last year.
1 from 3, but they're not the team they were last year, or they haven't shown that yet.
we've got work to do. All right, and moving on to the last game was Adelaide of the Sunday. It was Adelaide United versus Western United. Western United ran out 2-1 winners here, so a huge victory for the new girls away to Adelaide. Very hard place to go, and they've walked away 2-1 winners. For me, again, I know it might become a broken record, but I give credit where credit's due. The player that I would just open the wallet and start throwing the money at, I'll buy tickets for everyone to come and watch, Sydney Cummings. She's fantastic player. Distribution is excellent. She leads from the back. She's great in the challenge. Throw in, she scored the equaliser. She's just a hell of a player.
I hope she doesn't get the same nickname as Jason.
Yeah, either do I. I hope she doesn't either. But she's a sensational player. Hence, they are top of the table and only conceded 2 goals in 3 games. And a big reason why they are so successful is Sydney Cummings. So take a bow and let's keep bringing more players like this into the Women's A-League. So for me, the thing that they need to work on, the thing they need to learn from this, a lesson from this game is Adelaide must play until the final whistle. Leading 1-0 after a solid performance, they concede in the 91st and 97th. So that is a coach killer.
They're playing World Cup stoppage time, are they?
They are playing World Cup. I think it could catch on here. You have to go. You have a 3:00 A-League game. It finishes at 5:47. That's how that's how it's going to go. So you got to tell people when you ever got a game now, can't have any early bookings. You have to book the table 8 p.m. or later.
So you can't even have back-to-back games at 3, 5, and 7. You got to spread them out like 3 hours in between.
100%. So yeah, look, unfortunately, like I said, you've put in 90 minutes, and 90 minutes of an excellent performance normally gets you something out of the game, except when you're Adelaide in this instance and you cop 2 late goals, 91st and 97th. So unfortunate for Adelaide. Good game. Excellent win for Western United, but I think a lot of good positives for Adelaide. So not all is lost. They just need to bounce back again this week. And the match fact for me is we just wishing Stacey Papadopoulos a speedy recovery. She crashed into the Adelaide opponent but came out second best, unfortunately for her. She was carded and then substituted, so was probably seeing stars that evening. But get well soon, Stacey.
Got a yellow card for that.
Yeah, she did. Look, it's a bit harsh, I think.
It was harsh.
She did knock herself out. It wasn't a great tackle. I don't know. It looked like she wasn't watching. She was watching the ball. She wasn't watching the player, but it was a tackle that could have hurt the Adelaide player. Unfortunately, it hurt herself, but I don't think there was any malice in it. So she got a yellow card, and I think that's the least of her worries. I think she just wants to make sure she can she can get her full health back and she can get back on the pitch for the table topping Western United. So that's the end of our women's wrap up. So up after the break, we welcome to the player escape room Western United new recruit Jacob Tratt. Catch you after the break.
You're listening to the Football Revolution.
Joining us now in the player escape room is a man who has an A-League Champions trophy and 5 A-League jerseys in his pool room, but he's still only 28. So please welcome to the show Western United's new recruit, Jacob Tratt. G'day, Jacob. Welcome to the show. Great to have you with us.
Hey, Gio. Thank you very much for having me.
Mate, how are you? I have to mention this straight off the bat. Like I said, I know you're engaged and lots of things going on, but tell us about your dog. I have to ask.
You just want to get straight into it?
No, I have to.
So me and my missus, when we moved to Perth, got a dog, and I've always idolised Cristiano Ronaldo. So I dropped it to her if I could name the dog Cristiano Ronaldo, and next thing you know, boom, that's his name. So yeah, we actually we don't even think about the player anymore. That's just him. Here, chuck him in. I'll put him on.
It's fantastic.
Here he is, the beautiful boy.
Hi, CR7.
Yeah, CR7. We actually, one of the boys for Chris Kingle last year got me some CR7 boots for him.
Amazing. So, big question then. A, are you a Man United fan?
Yeah.
And B, if you get another dog, what's the lucky name going to be for that one?
It was either going to be Lionel Messi or Louis Hamilton.
Okay. Mate, I'm loving this, honestly. Anyway, look, let's get back to you, mate, and how things are going. Everything going well for you in Melbourne with Western United. As I said to you before, it's you're a no-brainer when it comes to signing players, because if you need to strengthen your squad, instead of signing 4 or 5 blokes, you just sign one, Jacob Tratt.
Yeah, I'm I guess lucky to be able to sort of cover the whole back line as a strength of mine, but I'm really enjoying my time here at Melbourne. My missus as well, she's got family and stuff, and they're only 10 minutes away from where we're staying. So we're very lucky. We've got a good balance of life on and off the pitch. And The weather's actually been really good. Obviously, a lot of people talk about how miserable the weather is here, but we've actually had some beautiful days, and yeah, just really enjoying life on and off the pitch, to be honest.
Mate, I have to say this. If this was football monopoly, you'd be complete, right? You'd be the king. So you're adding Melbourne to Sydney, Adelaide, Perth, and New Zealand. So surely it's bingo or Uno or something, or you can start putting houses.
Yeah. No, I've got one to go. If I tick Brisbane off, then I've played at all the states possible.
You do have them all. Sorry, you do have them all.
Almost bingo.
Okay, so you are. So, like I said, we're just preparing for that then. But, mate, I'm not sure many players can claim that on their CV. But okay, that if the Raw are listening, I think you're only signed year on year. So, tell your missus and Cristiano Ronaldo to pack their stuff because we might be going to sunny Queensland.
Unbelievable. I don't think they'd be too happy with that, to be honest. I think they just want to sort of settle down. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the near future.
All right, mate. You might have to look for a new agent, but anyway, we can talk about it another time. But mate, you also had a season recently in India with Odisha. How was that experience for you?
Very different. Obviously, a new experience for me. It was 4 months there. Well, obviously, it was during COVID, so the bubble. We were in a hotel literally for the 4 months. My fiance came with me, and she was unlucky in the aspect they promised her the world of yoga classes and everything like that, and cooking. But unfortunately, she was literally in a luxury prison for 4 months. She couldn't use the pool, couldn't use the gym, so it was tough. It was tough for the partners, but it was overall, I think, a really good experience. And I don't know, looking back on it, we actually, for what it was, really enjoyed it. And I think talking to a few of the players that are there this year, it's a lot tougher. I think not being sort of in that kind of format, having to travel, living on your own, food-wise, all that kind of stuff. So I think we were kind of lucky in an aspect as well.
Mate, the good news for you is you learn more from the bad experiences than you do the good. So it sounds like you would have learned a hell of a lot from your trip to India. But maybe we look somewhere else, Asia or maybe Europe in the future moves if we can have another crack overseas.
Yeah, I think obviously that is the ideal goal. I think obviously going to India, you really appreciate what we have here in Australia. Obviously, being a sort of third world country, you see a lot of poverty and a lot of, I guess, hardship over there. So what we have here in Australia really makes you appreciate how lucky we actually are.
Oh, no, certainly are. Mate, you've achieved a lot in your career and you're still in your prime. Do you still have some items on your football bucket list before hanging up your boots?
I'd love to, without putting too much expectation on myself, I'd love to go to a World Cup. I'd love to go to obviously the 2026 World Cup, but at the same time, I just really want to enjoy my football. I think that's a big priority for me, is to sort of enjoy life and enjoy my football. And it sort of goes hand in hand with performances as well. If you can sort of have that kind of mentality, I feel like it makes it easier to perform well as well.
Mate, and definitely, if I had a choice of going to Qatar or going to Canada, Mexico, and America, it's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Try and time it right. Get to the good one.
Mate, we'll start getting Western to work you a bit harder, mate, so that you're ready for 4 years' time. But speaking of Western United, you are the champions and you have a lot of quality in your squad, but you've come out the blocks a little bit slow. Has the break been good for the team?
I think so. I think we obviously had a few injuries as well, so we've got a lot of experienced players coming back, like Tomoki Mai, even Tongo as well. So we should have pretty much a full strength squad back available for the Perth game. Unfortunately, Stevie Lustiger had a little injury, so he'll be out for I think a couple of weeks to maybe a couple of months. So fingers crossed the rehab goes well there, and then we should have pretty much full strength squad to pick from.
Well, we wish him all the best. I've had Stephen Ugarkovic, his cousin, on about 2 weeks ago, and he speaks very highly of him. I know he's a great guy, so we wish him all the best. Mate, what has impressed you most about the new club, and what do they do better than any of the others? So you've played at all the setups, excluding Queensland, as we highlighted earlier. What do they do better than anybody else?
I think the facilities are first class, like from the change room, the pitch, the gym, the recovery, everything is, I guess, because we share it with Essendon. yeah, the facilities are first class. The way the clubs run, I think they've really got the best people sort of looking after the club, and everything's done with a lot of attention to detail. We get food after majority of training sessions, and then obviously the detail with video analysis after training. There's always footage of training. So there's a lot of detail in the work that they do, and I believe that in the time coming forward, we should really start to hopefully pick up points and move up the ladder as well, because the work that's going on behind the scenes obviously is why they were champions last year.
Mate, I was fortunate enough in the pre-season to come down and Lucy showed me all around the hangar. And even though I'm a big Hawks man, not a Bomber, the facilities were fantastic. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and it gives you guys every opportunity to be able to deliver and defend your title.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously I've played at a few clubs, and there's usually maybe one or two areas that are good and one or two areas that can improve. But yeah, at Western United, the facilities in all aspects are top class. So there's no real excuses for lack of performance, to be honest.
Mate, as we've said, this is like a break. You've played at a number of clubs, and I know you're well liked at all the clubs you've been at. Is there one player at any of the A-League clubs that you wish you could have taken with you? So if you could, every time you signed somewhere, there was a guy that just, it was a 2-for-1.
Yeah, I got me, mate. That'd be Kemi Devlin.
Oh, yeah, absolute quality. Superstar.
Yeah, I had him obviously at Sydney, and we used to carpool to training all the time, and he was my little sidekick. So if I could sort of have a 2-for-1 package with Kemi, I'd do that. But in saying that, there's a lot of other boys that I could say the same thing, but I'd say he'd be my number one.
Yeah, mate, like I said, there's always friends of the show that I always wish well, but he's one of the guys that I just absolutely, so excited for, that he's having great success. And who knows, maybe when he watches this, he can speak to Hearts and see if they'll take a 2-for-1. You're only signing a 1-year deal, so maybe
hey, they've recruited a few Australians already. I think Kemi he'd be having enough Aussies there. To be fair, I think he'll enjoy what he's got there at the moment. To be honest.
Mate, I think maybe at the end of the season they'll be looking at changing their logo to have a heart with a kangaroo on it. I think the way
could be spot on there. Old Scottish Premier League's going that way, isn't it?
No, certainly is. Mate, talking of Cam Devlin, so a break in the A-League men's fixtures has probably given the players a rare chance to relax and enjoy the World Cup. You have a lot of former teammates, as we said, Devlin, and you've got Redmayne and Goodwin and Tilio and co in Qatar. What have you made of the Socceroos so far and the tournament to date?
I think obviously the first game against France is a tough one. Like, it wasn't our best performance, obviously, but in saying that, I actually believe France are the top pick to win the World Cup. To be honest, they've got unbelievable players all over the park, and I think they're going to be a real shot to win it. And then obviously after all the criticism and the expectation on the Tunisia game, I think the boys really stepped up and the performance was really good. And hopefully tomorrow morning for us, and obviously in the night for them, we can get a result against Denmark, because I think that'll put Australian football in a really good stead, and hopefully in the years to come sort of attract more footballers for the younger generation.
It also is a better platform for you going to the 2026 World Cup, right? Having a team that made the knockout stage. So everyone wins. But mate, what do you think we'll need a win to get through to the next stage, or do you feel that the way that France are going, they'll take care of Tunisia and we'll get through basically as long as we don't lose?
Yeah, I think mainly there was talk that France would play their second team, but I still think their second team has world-class players as well. So, and their mentality would probably be going into that game with, I want to show that what I can do and why I should be playing in the games coming up. So I think France will get a result, and if we can either get a draw or a win, then I reckon we'll go through.
So France is your pick, even though your heart's saying you'd love to see the Socceroos go all the way. We have to be realistic sometimes. So yeah. you think that the French are the ones that are going to hold the trophy aloft for the second time? Yeah,
I think so. Just watching them and the players that they got, I think Mbappe's performing at a very high level at the moment, and sometimes you just need that bit of X factor that can create something out of nothing. And defensively, they seem pretty solid as well. So they're my pick for the 2022 World Cup.
Mate, it's just strange to say, right? You lose one of the most expensive players in the world before kickoff, Pogba. Then you lose the Ballon d'Or winner in Benzema, and you're still talking about a team that can go all the way. So it goes to show the depth that they have, and it is very scary. But we'll know in a few weeks. But mate, look, I've taken it easy on you. I'm ready to fire things up a bit and put you to the test. So the first game I like to play with my guests is called Six Aside, where I'll ask you 6 questions comparing you and your Western United teammates. You ready to roll?
Let's rock and roll.
Who is funnier, you or Lachlan Wales?
I have to give it to Lockie Wales, to be fair. My missus doesn't laugh at me jokes, and Lockie Wales has got a good bit of crack about him.
Mate, but you look good, so you don't have to be funny. Right? You can't be the best at everything, right?
Yeah, it depends who I'm hanging out with. There's some people will get around me. Some people, I just laugh at them and pick their spirits up.
All right, I like that. Who sucks up to the coach more, you or Connor Payne?
Oh, that's a hard one.
No, it's not. It's really easy.
I don't feel like, obviously Payne, he doesn't suck up at all, but I don't feel I suck up that much either. But obviously I'll give it to me because Connor doesn't suck up at all, but I don't feel like I suck up.
Tell me then, take Connor Payne and Jacob Tratt out. Who does? Give me initials, anything, a number. Just hold up some fingers. I don't mind. I'll take anything.
Suck up.
Yeah, is there someone that just goes that little bit of extra mile? And it's, like I said, he's still probably a good mate, but you just think to yourself, mate, you don't have to go that far, right? They're still going to play you or not play you. It's not going to matter if you go and buy the coach a coffee or, bring him down some muffins that he cooked yesterday or...
Yeah, I don't know, to be fair. I don't feel like anyone's too much like that.
You're not going to stitch anyone. All right, I'm moving on to the next one. I know you're not going to...
I actually don't think, there's not really too much of a suck-up, to be fair.
All right. Who's the better roommate, you or Ben Garuccio?
I haven't roomed with Benny, but I'm going to go me. I actually reckon I'm the top roommate. I'll stick around for you, wait for you to go to breakfast and stuff like that. So I'm going to chuck me. I room with Wenzy, so Wenzy's or killer.
Oh, I love Wenzy. I had Brecky with him when I was down in the pre-season, and he's just a great lad. So, mate, if he's happy to hang out with you, then that's my tick. That's seal of approval.
Yeah, I think he requested me, so I'll take that.
Okay. Who takes longer in the shower, you or Josh Risdon?
Me, 100%. I actually...
Washing your beard, washing your hair, what takes...
I have 3 showers a day, and I reckon probably 20 minutes a shower.
Mate, who's paying for the hot water at Western United?
Yeah, I know. I actually try and get a bit extra at Western United when I'm there just to ring it up, but I still even do this here. First thing in the shower in the morning, probably, I reckon about 15 minutes, and then at night time before bed I have a shower as well, and yeah, it looks like I'm paying a bit of water bills at the end of the month.
I'm going to tell your fiance when you play at Sydney, because I've heard the showers are ridiculous, tell her to wait for 4 hours. Tell her to go get some dinner or something and meet you back at the stadium after the game, because from what I'm hearing, you'll be in there for a long, long time.
Oh, is this at the new stadium?
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be off the charts. Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's like some 5-star hotel or something. So, yeah, I've been told that it is absolutely amazing. And even if you're not someone that likes to shower, you're staying in there longer than usual. The average is
well, to be fair, it's my favourite thing to do. When we went on holidays the other day to see his mum's place in the Phillip Islands, she had an outdoor shower just overlooking her garden. So I was out there for about half an hour just chilling.
I would be too. That's amazing. All right, so it's good you have had a bit of a recharge before we go back into battle for the to defend your back-to-back title.
Yeah, it was good. We had 3 days off, and it was good for me and my missus to obviously get away for a little bit, just freshen up. We just went down, spent a bit of time by the water, and I don't know, just relaxed, to be honest. But it was really nice, and obviously ready to kick on for the rest of the season.
Mate, there's another positive about playing the World Cup in November, but enough of that. Who is more likely to offer to drop one of the young lads home or help pick up the gear, you or James Truisi?
Me.
Okay.
I Jimmy's in and out pretty quick, to be fair, so I reckon I'll be the one to stick around, pick up the gear and drop the boys home, to be honest.
Mate, considering you're telling me that you wait for your roommate to go and have breakfast and all this sort of stuff, if I'd known that beforehand, I would have probably thrown a tougher challenge. I would have said that's a no, but I don't reckon there's anyone else in there that's going to go the mile that you have, considering you do all these nice things for people.
Yeah, I reckon I'm a bit of a cash, to be fair, as a roommate, so...
All right. All right, and who is more likely to pick up the bill, you or Alexander Prijovic?
100% Alexander Prijovic. We went out after the Wellington game the other night, and he was buying shots of tequila, and I think he ended up spending over $1,000 in just shots within half an hour. So I could only imagine how much the end of the nights end up costing. But yeah, kudos to him. I don't have that kind of money that he has.
Mate, all he had to do was just get one person to go on and press one thing online saying clear gold Amex card. That's all he had to do, right? Or black or whatever. That's all he had to. So it's nice that he's generous. But yeah, like I said, if you have it, spend it. But usually, sometimes they have the money because they don't spend it. So it's actually really nice and refreshing that he actually does pull out the cash.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Boys
love it.
All right, mate. And as a bonus one, tell us one thing you know you're much better at than a teammate. So free hit here. Just something that you knew as soon as you walked into Western United, it's like, I got that sucker.
As a razz-up or actual legitness?
Oh, either way, I don't mind.
Let's just say I'm better at two-touch than killer.
Okay. Oh, God. Mate, I'm turning my phone. I'm going to block his calls now. Straight to my phone now and block his calls because he's gonna blame me. He won't blame you, he'll blame me.
Well, at least he's getting on to you. I don't want to put up with the drama of it.
All right, mate, you've passed that with flying colours. Let's get into our second game, which is two touch. I'll give you a word or a couple of words, and you just tell me whatever pops into your head in 2 words, what your thoughts are on that topic.
Done.
Sushi.
Yummy.
Okay. Do you eat it often? Is that your go-to? Is that you and your fiance's go-to dish, or is there something you prefer?
She went off it for a bit. We actually used to eat it quite a bit, and then she got food poisoning, and since then has been a bit off it. So we haven't been eating too much of it, but we still love our Japanese food. I'd still eat it on regular occasions. So I still love me salmon and avocado rolls and stuff like that.
Mate, I need to start. She's had bad experiences in India. Now she's had bad experiences. I've got to start finding you some good restaurants, mate. Like I said, there's a lot of good qualities you got, but you're not doing enough searching on the best restaurants and how to not get sick, right? So leave that to me.
All right, you sort me out. I tried to take her to a restaurant the other night. I didn't book the table, so we couldn't get in. No, I'm not doing too well, to be honest.
Oh, all right, mate. Leave it with me. John Aloisi.
Good coach.
Okay, where does he rank without putting too much pressure on? Is he up the top end? And like it may affect how much game time you get for the rest of the year. But is he right up there with the best coaches you've had?
I think so. I think obviously I've had Graham Arnold, Tony Popovich, even Carl. Honestly, I feel like I've been very lucky with the coaches that I've had, and I've learned obviously a lot. But each obviously has their own way they go about things, and I think John's up there with one of the best. The detail and stuff that him and Foxy go in together, I think is obviously a big credit to them and why they won the championship last year.
Mate, have a look at it. Like I said, it's great for you to say you've had all these great coaches, but you notice all these great coaches keep picking you. Isn't that sending you a message?
I'd like to think so, but
mate, keep finding him. I don't know. This is happening time and time again. Every time a good coach is doing a good job, they go and find you. So I think that's kudos to you. But do you think next step for someone like him, and like I said, for Western United fans, they don't want to hear this, and not in the near future anyway. But do you see him as either having a crack in Europe or maybe even the Socceroos job?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously you can see now a lot of Australian coaches are progressing to overseas and actually having a lot of success, obviously with Ange and Kevin Muscat and all those kind of people. And I think I hope Paddy Kisnorbo does well over in France. And I don't know, I think we're starting to develop a lot of coaches here in Australia, and hopefully it can sort of continue to produce and get their chance overseas, because I think the way Australian football is developing, I think we'll continue to progress, and hopefully that can sort of reflect in the World Cups coming up as well.
I think you're spot on there, because the players have obviously been pretty vocal about the fact that they don't think that the A-League gets enough respect over in world football. Truth of the matter is, right, there's some games here you watch and you think to yourself, I wish I hadn't watched that game, but you go and watch Premier League or La Liga and you watch two teams down the bottom of the table and there's no big teams there. It's not a great game. So it happens everywhere, right? You can't, other than the Champions League, and even sometimes they're one-sided, it's very hard to get a balance, through every fixture throughout the season. So I'm with you, mate. I think the way that the coaches are heading now, and we're starting to get that respect, hopefully, like I said, it can just mean that the A-League goes on in leaps and bounds and allows players to stay here longer before they go and have a crack overseas, because that's just inevitable, right? You want to go and test yourself, and no matter what sport you're playing, whether you're playing basketball here and you want to try at the NBA, you always want to try the highest level you can, but it's still a really good gig here and a really good opportunity for us to take the game to another level.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think, like, even you're seeing this year with the World Cup, there's a fair few players from the A-League. So it's not as if you don't have an opportunity to progress from here, but at the same time, like you said, everyone wants to push themselves as far as they can go. And if that an opportunity comes for overseas, I think coaches and players are more than likely to have a crack.
Camping.
Love it.
Okay.
I like to say it, but I need to do it a certain way. I'm pretty, what's the word?
I can tell you the word, glamping. Yeah, that's the word you're looking for. When you
I've been glamping.
That's what you were looking for.
Me and my missus went up the west coast in just like in a van. But the first time we did it in a van, costing $40 a night, and it was too small and it just wasn't luxurious for me. And after a week, I was like, I need to get in a hotel. And then the second time around, we got a nice big Apollo van, and it was so much better. Obviously a bit more luxury, and so luxury camping, I'd say, yes.
Mate, what I think you need to do is you need to get in Prievic's ear and see if you can borrow his card. And that way you can really impress the missus, right? You can get some fancy big thing that can fit, people in, nice kitchen, everything. So, you know what? I might even send him a DM message and just say to him, mate, any chance you can help Jake out? He talked you up on the show, so maybe you can help him out.
Yeah, I just we want to do the Darwin to Broome next. So if you can sort us out with a van from there.
Send me the details. I'll take care of it.
Happy days.
Karaoke.
I suck.
You do? Okay,
yeah.
Why?
Known deaf. Mate,
I don't think I've found one player that says they can actually sing. If you ask me other sports, they'd be saying I'm the best, and then you'd hear them and the cats would be...
Lockie Brooks got a really nice voice, actually.
I've heard that. I have heard. He when I spoke to him, he did say that he didn't tell me, but he said a lot of players have said he's got the sweet tones in his voice. So, all right, so you're no good at all.
He can... Stevie Taylor, no way. He's all right. Stevie Taylor's not bad, actually, as well. He's he's got a little YouTube video. What's the song that he's singing? Hero. Not too bad, actually. So, but Lockie Brook, he's got that kind of voice that can. I don't know what the word is, but.
Mate, the sad thing is that because you are changing teams from year to year, you do a lot of initiation. So these guys have to listen to your poor singing. You think practice makes perfect. You think you get good at it now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, to be fair, I kind of know the songs that I don't actually have to hold a note too much. I kind of like whip out those songs that it's either sort of talking or a little bit of even rap, to be fair.
Okay, it could be a Dia Lupa song then. Maybe that's the way we go in the future.
Shut Up by Black Eyed Peas, more like it was me going to.
Okay, lock it in. Golf.
Love it. Favorite. It's actually my what do you say? It's my go-to for, like, if I have a day off and I can go play around the golf, I'm more than likely out in the golf course.
Mate, I'm sitting there saying, please be careful with your fiancé sitting next to you. Don't say it's my favourite thing in the world or something. I'm sitting there saying, please be very careful and choose your words wisely. So it was a good save, mate. Very good save, because I didn't want to have to bail you out.
Yeah. It's a fine balance between golf and the love that we do.
No, it's not. Not even close, mate. It's a distant second golf. But are you good with the handicap?
Handicap, no good. I'd say about 23.
Okay, but we know one thing for sure is your golf's better than your singing.
Yeah, you can lock that in.
All right, away.
Handicap, I feel like, is on the way down as well.
All right, we'll keep practicing, mate. You've had a bit of time off here, and maybe you can get a couple of strokes off. But away games.
Enjoy it.
What's your favourite one? Based on crowd or just facilities, or you got family there or friends? Who do you enjoy going and playing against?
Obviously, I don't mind going back to Sydney because I got family and that there. Even Brisbane, I got my best mate and that up there that like to come to the games. Atmosphere, I like Cooper Stadium. I think they've always got a good crowd there. Obviously, even playing there last year, so sort of happy wherever, to be honest. And obviously, a lot of the games that are away, like for a long distance, I've played at those clubs. So yeah, I'm happy to play wherever, to be honest.
Mate, you haven't really locked one in, so I'm going to say Old Trafford. All right, we'll take that. You happy with that one?
I'll lock that one in then.
All right.
I'd love to play it.
Mate, I don't know. Maybe, like I said, you've still got plenty of years left, and who knows, mate? You just got to keep working hard. That's what I tell my son, and who knows what opportunities you may get.
Yeah, exactly right. You honestly never know what's around the corner. So, and I've obviously been lucky enough to verse Manchester United at Optus Stadium. So, like I said, anything can happen.
Alessandro Diamante, or Diamagic, as I like to call him.
Yeah, well, Magic is spot on right there. There's just the vision and the quality that he has to find and execute passes is. It reminds me a bit of Del Piero a little bit, to be honest. It's just one of those players that you can knock the ball into, and whether it's a bad pass, whatever, he somehow is able to find a pass forward a lot of the time. So, yeah, a lot of quality there.
Mate, you've played with a lot of great players, and like I said, you've played with the Ninkoviches and all these sorts of guys. Where does he rate in the A-League? So, for me, I've never seen a player in the A-League pass a ball or have the vision that he has, as good as the players are here. Where does he rank, and what does he do for the club? What does he bring to Western United?
He's obviously got an unbelievable personality in and around the change room and obviously on the pitch. And you can tell even in the preseason games and even like the game yesterday, he just brings that experience. The mentality, even at his age, is still like he loves the game. I think that's a big one as well. Like he just has a big passion for the game, and that in accordance with his qualities, a reason why he's had such a good career.
I love Diamante. The only thing I wish he did differently was if he did some posts in English, because I'm Italian background, but my Italian is absolute rubbish. I just wish occasionally he'd do a couple of little videos where he spoke in English so I understood what he was saying.
Yeah, well,
you have a word to him for me?
His English isn't too bad, but even sometimes he'll talk to me and I'll be there looking at him going, like, what are you saying to me? I can't understand what you're trying to say.
Mate, I've got to try and find you some good restaurants and these sorts of things. So at least in return, all you can do is just go and speak to him and ask him just one post a week. It's not too much to ask, is it?
Yeah, I'll get him trying to speak in English for you so you can understand him then.
Thanks, mate. And last one, remembering special occasions. So birthdays, anniversaries.
No, not good, not great.
Okay. What's the last thing that you missed that it basically could have been off with his head?
Well, I was lucky enough. Me and the missus both forgot our anniversary, so I wasn't in the doghouse there because she forgot as well. So
She was just testing you, mate. She said that not to make you feel bad on your anniversary. She didn't forget. Did you actually buy that one? That's not true.
Yeah, well, hey, if it comes in a day later, then I reckon we have both forgotten. I'll take it. I
got in trouble this year for forgetting, but she told me the day before. So I still had a day to recover and I still got hung. Oh,
that's bad from you.
It was poor form, wasn't it? I know I'm a bit rich here giving you a hard time when I got in trouble, but like I said,
I didn't even get a reminder.
Okay. Maybe there's an app we can work on.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah,
not the daily reminders, birthdays, everything.
Yeah, but I don't want them to come up and say, hey, idiot, you forgot the anniversary. I want them to go online, book the present, send it to me so I get someone from Amazon rock up and here's my present. And that way they've saved me. They haven't just told me, hey, you've missed the day. That's no use to me.
Yeah, actually not a bad shout, to be fair. Then that way it's a win-win. You got the remembrance and you got the gift there ready to go.
Mate, we can get this up and running because you've been at all the teams bar Queensland. So we got people in each of the states. We could have this up and running by the week.
I got connections everywhere. Unbelievable.
I know you have. All right, mate. I know you're a busy man. I know you got plenty on, but mate, I wish you all the best when the A-League continues with Western United and you climb up the table. I hope your golf handicap gets lowered. I'll start working on trying to find you not only some good places to eat, but also see if Prijovic will pick up the tab for your next caravan trip. But mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Enjoy the rest of the World Cup, and I'll touch base with you later on in the season.
Thank you very much, Jay. It's been a pleasure.
You're listening to the Football Revolution.
Welcome back to the show. It was fantastic chatting with Jacob Tratt, and we appreciate also getting to meet CR7, his dog Cristiano Ronaldo. But now we have our World Cup review featuring our Peely Awards. So my interesting facts from the tournament this week. You ready for those? I know you like them and the listeners like that last week.
Let's go.
My favourite was the USA fielded the youngest starting 11, average age 24 at the tournament in the game against Iran, and in the process reached the knockouts phase for the first time since 2014. But that was the end of their journey, losing to Netherlands 3-1 in the round of 16, but still great signs for the future for the US of A.
Yeah, huge. And to have a squad that young with such depth as well, they did phenomenally well to get out of that group with England, Wales and Iran. And then they put up a good fight against the Netherlands. Like they could have gone up 1-0 early. I think Pulisic had a great chance.
God, he played well, didn't he?
He's a class player, and that's a player that hasn't been playing that much for his club side. So imagine if he was at a club where he was, in peak form and fitness and playing week in, week out, what he could have done. But he's been a talent. He's been a huge talent. That's why he was at Dortmund. That's why Chelsea signed him. But it might be time for him to move on to another club now and really shine and be the star of the club.
Yeah, look, I think with Christian, if you're not starting, sometimes it's just part of football, but I don't think Chelsea have treated him very well. I think there's a lot of players at the moment that Chelsea haven't treated very well. There's been a lot of turmoil at the club, and players' welfare, I suppose doing the right thing by the players needs to be paramount and right at the top of the list. But I just think at the moment for Chelsea it's a business, right? And the players just have to just follow suit. But I don't think they've treated the players very well, and I'm hoping that they can sort that out soon, or if they can't, just let those players go.
Yeah, look, I think he's got to move on. If he's not being treated well, and a club like Chelsea are renowned for doing that with some players, just throwing them or just kicking them to the side and letting them sort of rot away. So if he's in that position, I think he should move on. I think he's got to go to somewhere else. If not in January, definitely at the end of the season, because he's going to be, he's going to be there for the USA at the next World Cup 2026. It's a home World Cup for them. They want to be in at their peak. They want all their players at their peak, but they've got a phenomenal squad. They've got Gio Reyna on the bench. Their midfield, Weston McKennie at Juventus, Tyler Adams at Leeds, Yunus Musa I thought was phenomenal. He's at Valencia at the moment, and up top, I think they're just missing a real number 9, just a real goal scorer. But apart from that, they were pretty solid. And maybe for me, hopefully they get 2 young centre backs coming through.
Yeah, look, I think it makes sense for Chelsea to try and hold on to him, considering they've got American owners now, and he's one of America's best, if not their best player. Maybe he's holding out to stay and play for the London Broncos, but only time will tell. The Vincent Aboubakar scored the late winner against the Samba Kings. He's red carded, second yellow for taking off his shirt. The referee did such a nice thing. He went over and touched him on the head and said, "I have no choice. Unfortunately, I have to send you off." Stupid rule. I know it came in 2014, but they're saying it's disrespectful. It's this and that.
Well,
if you score against
a goal,
Brazil and it's the winning goal,
you should be able to take your pants off, shouldn't you?
Oh, I'm with you. I'm starting to think, but you can do your laundry, take everything off, undies, socks, pants, everything, just throw them all in the wash.
Honestly, if I scored a goal against Brazil, the winner, I'd be starkers.
But can you really though try and put yourself in the shoes of a player like that who's just scored? He's come from he's an African background, right? Who knows what his upbringing was, right? And he goes and scores a winning goal against 5-time, 4-time, whatever they are, world champions, Brazil. Can you not get a little bit excited and celebrate?
Yeah, look, I think it's a stupid rule. I think the shirt off. I think they brought that rule in because it obviously wasted so much time. Players taking their shirt off, throwing it around.
But they're paying 30 minutes of injury time.
I know. It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's just a stupid rule. Like you should be able to celebrate whatever way you want.
Put on a 5-minute cycle, throw your clothes in, then take them back out, and then put them back on again.
These players, they've got 5 shirts anyway, so one comes off. There should just be someone there waiting with the new one.
Or just wear double shirts.
Yeah.
Is that cool? If you've still got one on, does that mean that you're okay?
Oh, I don't know.
Still wearing
Probably, if you've got one underneath, I think so.
So maybe we can just bring out the singlets in the team's gear, and that way they've at least got a singlet on. Does that count? Sleeveless? No,
I think that's yellow. But maybe they keep the long sleeve underneath, and then it's like a singlet top on top. They just rip the singlet off and throw it away.
Yeah, look, I did really love the referee though, the way he did it, because he could have gone over there and just like a traffic cop, like a parking meter. They come over with the big ego and say, instead of saying, "Look, I'm really sorry, I have to fine you because that's the rules and that's my job." They come over like they're big hero. I love the way that the referee did that. So hats off to you, my friend.
Pat on the back, handshake, and he said, "Look, mate, I've got no choice."
Yeah,
there you go.
I won't get a round of 16 game if I don't send you off here. So former England captain David Beckham is so excited by the Three Lions performances that he's posting videos of him hitting high notes and singing Christmas carols. will he join the next Spice Girls reunion? So Posh thought his voice was quite good. I thought it was probably better than mine, but it's not recordable. Is he getting a bit carried away, Sir David Beckham?
Sir David is getting way carried away, if that makes sense.
If they win it, what's Golden Ball's going to do if they win it?
I don't know, but honestly, David Beckham could still play for this team, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah, hands down, easily.
Yeah, where would you play him, though?
In midfield somewhere, I don't know.
What about centre-back?
Yeah, you could have him as centre-back, right-back, just whipping balls in.
Yeah, I reckon he's quality.
I don't know. He's quality. He could still play, I reckon.
All right. Ghana's Mo Kudus, and he was some player in this tournament. He's one of the players that's really shining. His value's gone through the roof. So his winner against South Korea was amazing for him and the team, but won't feature in his teammate Inaki Williams' highlight reel as his huge miss kick provided the assist. So I don't know if you saw it. The ball came across. He lined it up thinking, I'm going to run to the crowd here. He was probably thinking, I'm going to take my shirt off and copy yellow as well. Only thing was, he got about 5% contact on the ball. He sliced it. If it was golf, you would have been calling out 4 to everyone on the whole course. And, he's given an absolute he's probably claimed an assist here to Kudus, and Kudus has said, thank you very much, I'll score another goal. But, it was for him right on the world stage. If some people's players, if Kudus's value is going up, I think he might have dropped a couple of zeros off. I think he might have passed it to his mate.
Look, he's got one more World Cup assist than you and I, so we'll cut it there, won't we?
Yeah, mate, that's true. Polish keeper Szczesny, he features in a lot of our awards, but this time it's he bet Messi €100 that the penalty in the game wouldn't be given, telling everyone that he made the bet. I don't know why he did that. Then that he doesn't care that he said it and that he lost, and he still won't be paying Messi. What's going on? Why didn't you come out and tell anyone? Why didn't you keep it to yourself?
What was the point of it?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
If he comes out now and he's Bet365 or Betfair or something, that will make sense why he's gone and said it. But he said, I wouldn't be surprised if they suspended me here or I got fined or something because I shouldn't be betting on this. But the thing is,
maybe he was betting on it and he's covered it up and now he's, someone check his accounts.
It's true, but the other thing is if he's saying here now...
I'll tell you who could check his accounts. Who? My wife. She's good at that.
Okay, it's good. All right, we'll give Danielle a call and see if she can check in. The thing is too, I know he's making out here that I didn't pay the bets, which means I didn't do illegal gambling, but all it shows me here is you're not a man of your word because you promised the 100 and you didn't pay it. Yeah, you're a dog. Yeah. All right, so on our group predictions, we decided we'd give 3 points if we picked both group qualifiers and 1 point if we picked either. Neither of us picked both teams in any group, in any of the groups.
None of them.
No, we didn't. Neither
Disaster.
Neither of us got a double header. So I think in theory, I think we talked ourselves out of it. When I listened back to it, I think we were saying we like Japan, we like Morocco, we like Argentina, we like this, and then we end up going for some out there odd bods. So unfortunately, I think we still have some football ability, but unfortunately, the final score was 8-7 to me based on our point system. You picking Belgium and Canada in Group F gave you a duck egg, which gave me that slight advantage. So I ran out 1 point winners, 8-7. But you can still have the finalists. You picked Spain and Brazil, but I can't, as I picked Belgium and Brazil after jumping off Argentina. So I don't know why, when that was the difference between me winning the groups, that I've gone and said I think Belgium can make it through to the final when they've got a grandpa squad. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was having an off night. Who
knows? But all I know is that Canada's coach effed me.
All right. So what are we going to give you? So if you get the 2 finalists, is it 5 points each?
Well, and then you can't get them. So if you get
because you can get 2 finalists, so you can get 5 points for either team,
and then I can sort of overtake you.
And you give 10 for the winner. So what I need here is I need Brazil, and if Brazil goes through, whether they win or not, then I beat you because I still got 1 point ahead of you. But if you get Spain, I'm done.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So this week's Peerley Awards is our spin on the 1995 American comedy Kicking and Screaming, starring Will Ferrell and Robert Duvall. You know the drill. So if you want to see more, the video explaining more on the full video show, we'll give you that. So we've got a couple of cool snippets, and I might throw a few extras in this week for a little bit of extra value.
I win. What? I get the Pele ball. What? If I beat you in the finals, Pele ball. It's mine. I give it. Here comes Pele! I get the Pele ball.
In last week's awards, the listeners voted, and Team Geo was awarded a narrow 3-2 win.
Something going on there, I reckon.
Well, there might be.
But look, the people have spoken. So you get the win.
Mate, you've got a chance to redeem.
That's the way it goes.
You've got a chance to redeem yourself this week. There's the 5 awards, as we said. We are going to bring in the double play, double day, so you can use 2 nominations for 1 award. If you think you don't have enough firepower, or you think you're desperate, and this might be the difference between you getting the victory or not, you can throw it down. You only get 1, so choose it wisely. Before we kick it off, last week we had a coin. I don't know if I got any coins. I think I saw a guy busking today.
I went first last week. Yeah,
so
I'll let you go first this week.
All right.
Gentlemen, I am.
Beautiful. All right, so the first award is our best goal with double Ronnie. For me, there was a couple of really serious contenders, but the one that I'm going to go with is the usual suspects take the night off. And so instead, up steps Casemiro to break Swiss hearts with a half volley that the great Federer would be proud of. So sweetly struck. And usually that would be the winner with 8 minutes to go. But with Qatar time, there was still like 25 or odd still to go. So that probably wrecked the beautiful scenario of saying it was a late winner. It normally was a late winner. This time it was like a half-time winner.
It was a half late winner.
Yeah, so I know there's plenty of others you could go with, but
What a goal, by the way.
yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. Like it was just picked up at his toes. It was like a Wimbledon.
That's just technique. That is just pure technique. That's him doing that in the streets in Brazil. He's just chopped the ball in half, literally.
And I think you're super excited too because you know he's going back to United, so hopefully he doesn't get injured before the end of the tournament, and you'll get a Casemiro back who's in good form.
Tell
And he's
you what,
looked good before.
United players have scored a few goals with this World Cup, so keep it rolling.
Hey, you know what? Maybe when we do a version of VIG Stats, man, you might be able to tell us based on Premier League clubs or something who scored more goals and more assists or something, or more saves or something. You might be able to come up with something like that.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, what are you putting up against Casemiro's beautiful Federer-like half volley?
All right, I might use my double play here. I don't know, but I'm going with.
Are you going to use a double play?
Yeah, I'm going to go
double play.
I'm going to start hard. All right,
come out the box quick.
So look, I can't go past free kick for Mexico. It was Luis Chavez against Saudi Arabia. The second goal, I think, to go 2-0 up. I think it was.
Correct, yep.
Oh, that just the technique on that. And apparently he's renowned in Mexico for being a bit of a free kick specialist. Not many of us have seen him play that much. So that was just phenomenal. The whip on that ball. I don't think any keeper in world football is stopping that. That was, from distance as well. It was a fair way out. Left foot, he's just hit it so sweet, and it's always travelling away from the goalkeeper into the top corner. So
there was a bag full of free kicks throughout the tournament. I think Marcus Rashford hit a really nice one in their big win. But yeah, I'm with you. I think that one there was it gave the Mexicans a hope of progressing, but unfortunately they missed out on goal difference. But look, if you go out like that, if that's the way you leave the tournament for him, beautiful way to go out, right? Red carpet.
Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. He'll be disappointed they went out though. And I'm going to throw another one in here. This was a great team goal. It was Remo Frula for Switzerland versus Serbia. Some lovely play. I think it was Xhaka and Shaqiri, and just a lovely finish. Just class goal all around. Some nice lead up play. That's my little extra. All right, we've gone for the individual brilliance, but I've just chucked in a little bit extra to put the icing on top.
All right, so 2v1 here. So you've put in the two, the Mexican as well as the Swiss, and up against my classy Brazilian. The only other one I would just mention there, just as something that was just so old school, it was like watching, I don't know, old video games or watching old school, was Vincent Abubakar's classy and cheeky finish against Serbia. He beat time, he beat the offside trap, he beat the VAR, and he beat the opposition keeper. It was that scoop.
Poor Serbia, they copped a few good goals, didn't they?
Mate, that goal that he scored, honestly, Gelatissimo should be getting on that. That was a triple scoop. It was. Did you see? It looked like it was going to hit the clouds.
It was good. Sorry, they're the two. I had to go with a bit of individual brilliance with the free kick and a bit of team brilliance.
I just had to let Vincent, considering he got a red card in the game after for pulling his shirt off, I thought he at least needs to be mentioned here, even if he's not in the running for the award. It's nice to mention him. All right, so up to the listeners who they liked out of those nominations. So moving on to our best save. So Safe as a Banks, which is a tribute to England legend Gordon Banks. What are you putting forward, VIG?
Well, keeping with the England theme, I'm going to go with Jordan Pickford's save against Senegal in the quarterfinal clash to deny Boulaye Dia when the scores were still 1-0. Great save to his left-hand side, strong left hand. That goes in and the game turns into a scrap, I think, and Senegal, maybe pull off an upset. So I think Pickford's been tremendous all tournament. And yeah, I thought it was just a phenomenal save given the circumstances. Quarterfinal, 0-0. before half time.
Look, hats off to him, because I was saying very vocally at the start of the tournament I would have picked Ramsgate or Pope on form. I think he's the weaker of the three, and his form this year in an Everton team really struggling is been the worst of the three. So, look, he's proven me wrong.
Ramsdale's in form, right? Arsenal in form. He's a great goalkeeper.
So Newcastle.
And Pickford out of form playing for Everton, or in a team out of form, right? And we said that. We said it all along that he might be the weak link. But every time he plays for England, he steps up.
He does. This is the like when Maroon's players pull on the Queenslanders jersey and they just grow an extra leg. He should just retire from club football and just play for England.
Well, he goes from the T-Rex arms to
or play
the pterodactyl
or just
arms.
Maybe Southgate's his lucky charm. Maybe he just follows Gareth. Wherever Gareth gets a gig after this, he can follow him round. But look, I'm with you. I think England's cruised through.
I heard he plays the Southgate song in the change rooms before the game. Southgate, you're the one. You still turn me on.
All right. No, I hope he doesn't play that. But look, he's definitely England have cruised through pretty much through this tournament. So in a game which I'm with you, I think it was close, and it ended up being a 3-0 win in England's favour. But I reckon it would have been a lot closer if they'd taken the lead here and England had gone behind. So look, good save for me. The save that I had a few there that I thought were good saves. I think Szczesny last week won the award for us, and he definitely got a nomination again for the magnificent penalty stop to deny the Messiah Messi from opening the scoring at 0-0. It didn't do anything for Poland, but it did keep him in the game a bit longer. I thought that was wonderful, and there was also a great one from the Uruguayan keeper, a double save from the Uruguayan keeper. But for me, importance and what it meant to your team. South Korea keeper Kim Si-young outstretched save to deny Portugal's Dalot a double and gave his team a chance to steal a late winner, which they did, sending them through to the next round. So I think it was down low. I think Dalot had a lot of confidence because he'd already scored earlier in the game, and his form's been really good for United this year. So I think he's just carried that form into the World Cup. But when South Korea needed their number one, he stepped up and delivered.
Are you using your double play for this one? Or?
No, I'm not. Definitely not.
All right. And a shout out as well. Obviously, we all saw it, but the Emi Martinez save against Alo Kuol in the, what was it, 97th minute or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Look, unfortunately for us, it's not something we enjoyed watching. But look, I'm a good enough sport to say if you pull off a great save, whether I'm green and gold or whether I'm for you or against you,
and
I just pay credit where credit's due.
You saw his two centre backs after it, like literally jumping on him. Just
my Spurs mate Romero jumping
literally
on him.
Just saved us. Yeah,
yeah. I think Romero. I was worried Romero got injured because he's always injured for Spurs.
Fell over.
He plays 3 games and gets injured. So I thought maybe he's gone down here, and I'm thinking, how many weeks he's going to be missing when the Premier League starts back? But no, he was just giving him a good old cuddle and saying, "Thanks for getting us through to the."
Thanks for bailing me out.
Yeah, 100%. Next award is something outrageous, our Maradona Kebab Award. So the late, great Maradona, and it's all meant in great respect to one of the greats, if not the greatest of all time. So for me, my nomination, it's just 2 words. Romelu Lukaku. Where are you?
He's gone. Where is he?
He's gone missing. So his misses against Croatia sent the star-studded Belgium team home. How can a 115 million euro player with over 200 club goals, 68 international goals, go into a game like that where he looked like he'd never ever seen a ball before?
4 chances, honestly, 4 clear-cut chances, and you and I will score them. So I don't know what's going on.
If he had multiple choice, he didn't pick the second worst or the best option. He chose the worst option every time.
He chose the option that you should eliminate straight away. Yeah,
100%, 50-50. Knock those ones out. He just looks, he started to find his form a little bit after, obviously a tough time at Chelsea, and then went back to Inter, and they didn't open him with open arms because he left there on not great terms either. But he started to look like he was getting his confidence back. But then he goes into the World Cup, and he just had a shocking game. As a tournament, Belgium were horrible. They were lucky to beat Canada. They end up falling on their sword at the end and getting bundled out. But there's massive problems there.
Yeah, and there was rumours around him being like a bit of the peacekeeper. So I think they had a crisis meeting after the final, the match before, and he was trying to get the players to all get on side and get behind the cause, and maybe he was concentrating too much on trying to keep the peace and trying to make everyone happy, and he just forgot about his own game.
Yeah, and the thing is too, I don't know, it's dragged on for a long time. There was issues obviously in the personal lives of De Bruyne and Courtois, 2 massive stars, and there was comments Courtois kept coming out and saying, about how great Benzema are and Modric that plays with him, at Real Madrid, and he was kind of putting a bit of the boot into De Bruyne, and on top of that, they've had an opportunity where they've had a great squad for 8-10 years now, and they've pulled nothing out of it.
Absolutely
nothing
donuts.
to return. Yeah, they've got nothing in return.
World Cup semi-final in 2018 is all they've got.
Yeah, but they've got had a massive window of opportunity to be able to do something great for Belgium and for their country, and when the window's now slammed shut, all they've done is get their fingers caught in it because they haven't actually got anything out of that window, and there doesn't look like there's much left, because even when you've got players like Vertonghen, who are normally pretty quiet, coming out and saying things, it means enough's enough, and I think they just need to probably go ground zero. They need to get rid of the coaching staff, get rid of the players that have been there and done a good job, and just start from scratch and try and rebuild this dynasty.
So you're saying Lukaku's probably played his final game for Belgium?
Oh, look, yeah, I don't know if he can rise back up after that performance. And to be honest, like I said, he's had a tough few years in domestic as well. So look, it will show the character of him. I think he's got a lot of character, and I think he's a great guy. But I don't know, it's a lot to ask, and it depends on who takes over the coaching reins and how they rebuild. So only time will tell. What are you putting up on the table to match my Maradona kebab?
Oh, I hope I've got you covered here, because this will be absolutely outrageous if it does happen. If FIFA get rid of match day 3 of the 2026 World Cup, there will be uproar. It'll be outrageous. It'll be absolute disaster. Some of the best moments from this World Cup came in match day 3. That when you've got 2 games simultaneously flicking between 2, you got one up on the TV, one on the laptop or on your phone. You're getting text messages from your mate saying, "Oh, this team's in. If this team scores, if the other team gets another yellow card, they're out. If FIFA fair play, all this drama that's going on. It's just phenomenal.
Why change it then? What
exactly? Why would you change it? There's a way around it. But we saw at one stage Spain and Germany were both going out. Then Japan scored that goal, the controversial goal. Then at other stages Mexico going out because their FIFA fair play. They've accumulated more cards than what Poland have. But then if they scored again, they would have had more goals for, so they would have gone through. So it was just phenomenal. The drama that it brings. We saw Tunisia go 1-0 up against France, and we're going home. At 0-0. So
surely
we have to win that
this
game.
Match day 3, if nobody else enjoys this, the phone companies do. So Optus, Telstra, like sending 500 messages per minute to your mates, right? That's
the group chat's going off. It's absolutely, it's just brilliant.
Why would they want to wreck that? I don't know. Look, the way FIFA goes at the moment, they never seem to pick the best option for football or for the players or for anyone else involved except for themselves. We're going to have 48 groups of one. Biggest bag wins, so they'll brown paper bags wins, and then get down to 24 teams, and they pull rocks, and then eventually we get down to
hot and cold balls when they draw the names out of the hat.
I don't know. When you've got something like this, it's working really well, and it's been a huge success.
I've got a suggestion, Rob.
Yeah.
I've solved the problem.
Yeah.
So there's 48 team World Cup, 12 groups of 4. Keep it the same. Three games each in the group stage. The top 2 from each group progress. So 24 go through, but the best 8 from that go into the bye round. They'll go straight into the round of 16. The remaining 16 teams play off against each other, and then the 8 winners face the 8 teams that had the bye.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Sign me up.
Yeah, mate, definitely.
I stole that from someone, by the way.
The other thing is too, I've already started looking at, we've missed this one. I'm looking at Mexico, America, and your favourite team, Canada, hosting the next World Cup, and I thought I can't wait to go. But if they're going to start doing all this stupid stuff here, then I'm starting to lose interest. So, look, I'm going to say to the listeners, I love this one. So give your vote to VIG for Maradona Kebab. But if this is true, don't vote for him, because this could...
Oh, disaster, if this happens, take it off.
Don't give him your vote.
I'm not even voting for myself.
Give your vote to me. I think it's a fantastic point that he's made here, and it's a great nomination. But if it did, I'd be absolutely devo. Why would you want to have groups of 3 in there? It just doesn't make any sense. It's worked so well before. Okay, it's like anything. You come up with a great idea. Great, you run with it. If it's a crap idea, you can it. If you decide that you want to save some room in your kitchen and you decide to go for an oven / fridge, yeah, okay, in theory it's great.
It doesn't work so. One's hot, one's cold.
100%. So you go, you know what? I thought I was clever. I'm not. I'm stupid. So I'm just going to go back to sticking with single appliances and single devices. Why would you want to change something that's working? So anyway, it's my Romelu Lukaku, and he's absolutely just couldn't hit the side of a barn up against FIFA's shocker of trying to just make the groups 12 groups of 3, which I just don't I don't understand. I don't get, and I don't want. So
No, not happening.
it's not. So yeah, let's just hope to God it doesn't go through. Okay, up next is our only in guitar. So different time of year, no beer, something you can only see here. What do you got, VIG?
We spoke about this earlier. Sorry, the fake Neymar. So I don't know if you've seen him. He's been walking around the streets of Qatar, taking photos with people, signing autographs. But he's tricked security and he's been escorted into the stadium before one of Brazil's games. He's taking photos with the fans. He looks like Neymar. He's dressed. He's got the beard. He's got the tattoos on the neck.
Yeah.
He's even got the little bent pinky when he does these ones. So it's just incredible. You know, it's a dead ringer.
Is he a crazy fan, or is he a smart operator? He's getting all these attention.
I think he's a very smooth operator.
Okay, so they haven't caught him yet. He just keeps going in there.
No, I think they've caught him now.
What about when the real Neymar starts to try and go in somewhere and people go and tackle him? We've got the fake one, and they go no, and then you've been sued for the rest of your life within a penny of your life.
You know, if you get the real Neymar, you just got to step on his ankle.
Now, this is
one blows up and one doesn't.
No, I was going to say this is what happens if you even as you start breathing, the real Neymar will fall on the ground, right, and start saying, "He got me." This guy, hopefully, he's got that down pat. Because if he doesn't, that's how you can tell the difference between the real McCoy and the fake imitation.
Will the real Neymar please stand up?
Hey, you never know. They might be able to get the fake Neymar and the fake Messi and get them all to go down to the next World Cup. Because if they come up with these stupid rules, maybe the real players aren't going to go. Or rumour has it Messi and Neymar are all retiring, so they might need to borrow these fake imposters anyway.
They've got to keep them there, keep the crowds coming.
I just can't wait until there's a fake imposter, VIG.
Yeah, there already is one.
Who's that?
My brother.
Oh, he's the French.
Imposter.
He's the French VIG.
He's always been the imposter.
Oh God, man, I can't wait till he sends you a few text messages of what he really thinks of you after this. But all right, so the two choices there. That's your nomination. So my nomination is, and I thought this was down in the dirt, a bit low blow. Ghana's coaching staff trying to get a selfie with the crying South Korean superstar Son Heung-min after his team had won a controversial game 3-2. So I thought it took no class. You know, you go out there, it's a battle, it's a war. You want to win everything at all costs, but you've got to have a little bit of grace and dignity, like I said earlier in the show. You've got to go out there and make sure you win with you're a good winner and a good loser. He proved that he's a bad winner because he's gone over there and tried to do one of those over the shoulders, photos of Son Heung-min to show that him having a bit of a ball because of the fact that they'd lost the game. It obviously meant a lot to Son Heung-min, and that's just showing that, like I said, that
no respect.
You're not a good winner. So I thought it was a bit disappointing. I would have expected that security or someone there would have, especially when it wasn't a final where you're hanging around. As soon as the game's finished, you shake hands and leave. So thought it was poor form from the Ghanaian coaching staff, and I suppose the last laugh was on him because the South Koreans have gone through to the round of 16 and Ghana have packed their bags and they're buying some souvenirs at the airport. So I think maybe if Son Heung-min wasn't a really super nice guy, he would have reposted that and said to the Ghanaian coaching staff, have a great trip.
Yeah, look, he was always going to regret it, wasn't he?
The thing is, too, as Conte always says, and it's one of your famous lines, what's he say about Son Heung-min?
Oh, you give him away to your daughter.
100%. Yeah, he said that's the sort of son you want. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So he's a nice guy. So he does great things for football on and off the pitch. So of all the people you want to go and troll there and do it to, it's not him. So just thought it was poor form. So either the Ghanaian coaching staff's, harebrained idea to try and get a crying Son Heung-min to post on his socials, or your fake Neymar. Yeah, the fake Neymar. So we can bundle it up with a fake VIG if you like.
Oh, if you want.
Maybe
fake Messi, fake Ronaldo.
Maybe Alex can be the real VIG now that you've become
I'll become the imposter.
You've become killing Mbappe.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, and our final award is our VAR, our VAR and officiating stuff-ups. We talk about these guys too much, but they just can't help being in the headlines. I think it's me to go first here. So I'm going to use my double duo 2-for-1 here. Hopefully I can go out with a bang. You started yours with a quick start coming out the blocks, but I'm going to hopefully finish off, and this will get me the job done and give me a 2-0 lead in the series. But first one was the Spanish coach, Luis Enrique. He said that the photo must have been tampered with when he saw the footage of the goal that Japan scored, and the cutback was way over the line. and that he felt something fishy was going on when VAR took even longer than they usually do. So they took an eternity to make a decision on that. So I don't know if it was trying to see the highest bidder there, who would pay to get the right decision. But it just took too long. And when those things happen, you always think that there's where there's smoke, there's fire. There's something going on, a bit of fishy business. But I can't tell you on a family show what the German coach thinks after the goal knocked his team out, and it also cost him his job, as well as the German Football Federation 19 million euros, because they didn't progress to the next stage, and it was devastating for their fans. And unless you're an Englishman, you get no joy out of watching a team like Germany, who are always there in the back end of a World Cup, falling out of the tournament, but they just weren't up to it. But it's a bit hard to take when it was a bit controversial the way they went out, because the ball looked like, no matter which way you looked at it, the ball was dead. It was over the byline.
Yeah, unless you're a pterodactyl flying above and you're looking down, and then you got, you put your beak down. But
the ball was round, the line square.
The ball's round, the line square. You're looking at it from above. Look, when I see that and I look at it, and I can see green grass between the line and the ball. The ball's out. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear ringing in my ear.
This rule's ridiculous.
The apprentice that Donald Trump, the ex-American president, used to be on, that money at the start. That's what I was thinking they were playing in the up in that box. But anyway, the double header of this is Ghana's opening goal versus South Korea. Andre Ayew unintentionally kills the ball with his arm for Salisu to lash home. VAR awards the goal after having a long look again. It gave his team an unfair advantage, and his team won the game 3-2. If you look at that, it could have been 2-2. Maybe that gave them the momentum. Maybe South Korea go on and win the game. But fortunately, that was null and void, because South Korea have gone through and Ghana haven't. But I just thought that I don't think Andre Ayew at any stage tried to intentionally bring the ball down for his teammate to lash it home. But it hit his arm and just dropped dead there for the easiest tap-in you'd ever like. All the defence, goalkeeper all moving one way. The ball was going flying for four over the sideline, and then all of a sudden it just stops there dead, and then you're able to tap it home. So I thought they started the tournament pretty poorly too by disallowing the Ecuador goal, and then they've just continued on, and here's another one.
All right, so you've done your double jeopardy, thrown two out.
I've bundled these two in together. Right. So what are you going to put up? You've only got one weak opponent to put up against.
I've got one to go up against it. Mine comes from the final group stage game between Croatia and Belgium. 15 minutes in, I think Yannick Carrasco clips Andre Kramaric inside the box, and referee awards a penalty. This happens just after a free kick. So Anthony Taylor pulls up the foul, awards the penalty. Luka Modric grabs the ball, goes to put it down. Ballon d'Or winner. He's up against Thibaut Courtois, his teammate. Modric then said he's waiting for about 5 minutes to take this free kick. Then the take the penalty. Then the referee gets a shout in the ear saying, "Oh, you got to come over to the screen to see this." And we're thinking, "Oh, what's happened in the build up? Something happened. Did he not foul him? Did he fall over?" And he goes over, and then he comes back and he blows for offside. So he's gone to the screen to check the colours to see if the blue and red line.
Where did he blow offside from? So
they're offside from the free kick So honestly, I don't know why is it taking so long. And the VAR, that's their job. You see offside, it's black and white. It's either offside or it's not offside.
Is this the VAR group? Is this?
This is the VAR group. This was the Belgium and Canada game where it should have been a penalty to Canada.
So they get one bodgy call a game. Is it like in tennis where you get two line calls or two
honestly,
challenges?
I don't know what's going on, but
this group, one bodgy VAR every game,
pretty much.
Well, there won't be any more bodgy VAR for Belgium, as they're already on their way home. But
watch out for Croatia. Japan better watch out.
Yeah, I was going to say they look at one time in the game. You just pull out that card and you just drop that Ifitano card on the table, and you say, "I'm going to call."
It's like the Uno card with all colours,
like a joker. Yeah, 100%. I'm just going to call in the favour now. So, all right, I like that one. It's just annoying. I don't know eventually where we get to with the VAR, because, like I said, every single time they've tried all this new semi-automatic stuff and all this, it sounded like I was going to a gun shop. I didn't understand what they were talking about when they were talking through all the things they were trying out in the World Cup. I thought it was enough that you're trying out to play in November instead of June, July, but they wanted to add some more fancy bells and whistles to it. But all right, that's the end of our Pearly Awards. So yeah, look, please have a listen. find out what you think. If there's anything you haven't seen, I'm going to try and put as much footage as I can to make it as easy for you to come up with another win for me. So
that's what. So you're going to put all the footage of your noms and none of mine.
No, I might
Is that the way it goes?
I might bodge yours up. I might do a bit of a FIFA here and throw a few snakes in there to try and cause some problems for you. But no, look, I'll be very fair. So look, I'm hoping that I'll run out winners, so I take a 2-0 lead in this series. But look, I did really like a lot of yours, and I think there was a lot of quality this week. So only time will tell what the listeners have come up with. So moving on to our clinical finish, I don't think that we'll ever get this season from anything, whether it's from the A-League men's, women's, or the World Cup or whatever, a better what the foot than this week. So Australia, you might not have got through to the round of quarterfinals, but you definitely took home the best what the foot, the WTF. So this week's award winner is: did Keep Up and Network 10 go home before the final whistle, or didn't they pay the cameraman overtime? They have no footage of Emma Rober's stunning winner in the game between Western United and Adelaide. So I had to go to the Western United website to see this. Now, it is a joke award here and it is a bit of fun we have, but I think for me it's disrespectful to Western United, even Adelaide and Emma Rovers, that you can't even have footage of that winning goal. So it just goes 1-1, and then they go, okay, that's it, let's go have some more Portos. So they're hanging out our Portos, and then maybe later they heard, in the 97th minute there was a winner. And
they only played for 93 minutes. It's always 3 minutes stoppage time. It's not Qatar. This is not Qatar FIFA World Cup stoppage time. It's 23 minutes.
Right? How can you get this wrong?
That was all that was in the contract. It's just 90 minutes plus 3.
Yeah,
and he's gone home after that.
Yeah, this is shocking. I just can't believe this. I thought the game was fantastic, and I think there was a lot of good things from it. It gave Western United their 3 from third win, and Adelaide were good for the money too. And it was a great strike, and 91st and a 90 equaliser and 97th winner. But it's taken away all that magic because of the fact that you can't even record the game. So I don't know. She's had a chance to score a cracker, and she's been cursed. I don't know. Maybe did you mention her name beforehand, like you've done the previous winners of the World Cup or runners up or anything? Did you?
No.
Did you not tip her?
No.
Well, you didn't tip Western United to make the 6. Did you not tip her to score a goal this year or something?
No, unfortunately I didn't. I don't know. It's just what the foot, hey?
Yeah, it's just poor, absolutely poor. But moving on, the A-League men's competition resumes this week. So Revolutionised Roundup is back. TFR Fantasy rejoins the lineup. Our Peely Awards keeps its starting spot, and our women's wrap continues to get game time. So busy next week. We thought we get a bit of a break with less games because we've moved out of the group stages, which could be the last time we've had these sort of group stages. If your nomination in only in Qatar goes ahead, no, your Maradona Kebab nomination goes ahead. But we've been replaced with A-League men's back. We've still got the women's league, which is up and running, as well as the remaining round of 16 games and quarterfinals and maybe even semis before we are back on air next week. So lots of games. I don't know how we handle it all, but there's a lot worse jobs to do, isn't it?
It means more daytime football for us, but it just means football non-stop and more coffees and more late nights.
All right, games this week in the A-League men's competition, which returns. Sydney hosts Melbourne City. The F3 Derby, which is a home game for the Mariners, is also another entertaining match. And the Bulls versus Victory. Will the teams be rusty, VIG?
Look, potentially. There's always, having a break mid-season, or it's not even mid-season, So I think it might take a little bit to get that momentum back. We had such good momentum with the league. Before we went on break with the derbies, and we had the Big Blue and the Melbourne Derby and the Sydney Derby, which had a great turnout. So hopefully we keep that momentum, and hopefully we build on the Socceroos' success. And we saw the crowds that turned up, across the country to watch it at the live site. So hopefully we get those fans at the A-League this weekend.
Will the Stars, Socceroos Stars, be back? Your gut feel?
Some are back. I'm unsure if they'll all play, but they are coming back.
Will some of them get a break?
Except for Matt Leckie. I think Matt Leckie is taking a bit of an extended break.
Okay, and they're going to send in the fake Matthew Leckie.
Yeah, I think he just put him on the flight back. He's arrived, so he'll be good to go on the weekend.
All right, last question for you. Do you see the same front runners coming out the blocks fast with this break, or does this just you just mix them all back up in the bag again, and it's a new start, and it's like it's a new race, so anyone can come out the blocks?
Honestly, I think it's a new race.
Yep.
And I think the coaches, and they need to treat it like that. They need to come in and say, all right, brush the first bunch of games to the side. We start again now, and we build into Christmas, and then for the rest of the season. So,
is there an advantage for the teams like the Mariners, for example, and City, who had multiple players in the World Cup for the Socceroos coming back into the squad to give them that, I suppose that ignition, that energy?
Yeah,
the teams that don't have
those players will come back buzzing. They've just been to a World Cup. The things that they've experienced over there,
they've all had a photo with Messi.
They've
every single one.
All 26 players.
It looked like a mannequin, right? Because I don't think there was one photo where I saw the Australian player looked different, but I didn't see him. He was in exactly the same pose.
Yeah, I think after the third photo, they just blew it up and took a cut out and just stuck it there. And they were like, "Come on, boys, let's go."
I think I
rest of the team's up.
I think I got there just a few seconds late.
Were you?
Yeah,
I was gone, packed up.
Yeah,
the cutout blew away.
They're also doing one at Parkley Markets. That's where I went.
Oh, that's why.
All right. So if you missed any part of the show or you want to listen to other episodes, where can they catch it? Killingham BIG.
They can catch it on all good podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're back up on FNR Radio now as well, and
video and audio,
and video up on the YouTube channel. So plenty of platforms.
So there's plenty of World Cup do or die excitement this week, so no excuses, plenty of football to watch. Is there a game in particular that you're looking most forward to?
Oh, look, the quarterfinals are all going to be juicy at the World Cup.
Pick one.
France, England.
Okay. Who's your tip in it?
God, I don't know. I think it's going to go extra time. Golden goal. I'm going to go with France.
Me too. I'm jumping on your back. And that's nothing to do with having a little brother that plays in France. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed the show almost or even half as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Please vote for your favourite nominations in the Peely Awards. I'd like to thank Jacob Tratt, the Western United Fix-It Felix, super nice guy for coming on the show. And until next week, plenty of football to watch, but rise up and join the football revolution. Have a great week. Enjoy your football, and we'll catch you then.